What's up, YouTube? This is Devin, aka Core Vampy, and today I'm going to be ranking every single character in Fire Emblem Awakening. Awakening was my first Fire Emblem game back in probably freshman year of high school, maybe 8th grade, something like that. But anyways, I have a strong attachment to this game, and I thought it'd be fun to just go through the cast and, pit them all against each other, see who my favorites are, who my least favorites are. This is all just my personal feelings on the characters. I'm not ranking them as units. I mean, how they served as units for me will likely play a role in their ranking, but this is all just my opinion. Don't get all butthurt. So, first one, we've got Anna. Instant fucking S tier. That's my girl. Love Anna. The happy merchant herself. Just, amazing. Truly wonderful, without compare. Best girl, period. Next we've got a Versa. With a Versa, I don't really have a strong opinion about her. Booba, like, that's literally it. I mean, I don't care. I'll put her in B. I think she's alright. Like, I don't think she's anything special. I don't think she's some amazing, fantastic character. She's just Booba. Basilio. This is my fucking boy. I don't know whether to put him in high A or an S. He's just such a Chad. He's such a badass. He has so many good moments, like him feigning death against Walhart. Like, oh, spectacular moment. And yeah, this guy is fucking awesome. I feel like I've got to put him in S. I feel like he's an S-worthy character for certain. He's so good. Brady, I don't really give a shit about, I'll be honest, but I never really have given him a fair shot. For me, like, on the surface, he just seemed way too tropey for me. You know, tough guy, but he's actually really soft. Like, I don't know. I have no interest in him whatsoever. I'll be completely honest. Cherche. This girl is fire. Like, she has so many good supports. She is an amazing flyer unit. And, I mean, she's the girl. Like, dude. The girl. Come on. Cherche is fantastic. S tier character. Without any question in my mind whatsoever. Chrom, I'm putting him in A. I think Chrom is fucking badass. I think he's cool. I like his design. Sorry if you hear any of my dogs barking in the background, by the way. But anyways, love his design. He is fantastic as both a unit and as, in my opinion, a character. Like, dude, you literally get to watch this character that you grow attached to become a dad, and then he interacts with his daughter. Like, I'm high as shit right now. Should be prefaced. I mean, you should know that from the title already. All I do is smoke pot. But I love Chrom. I think he's fucking badass. The only thing keeping him out of S for me is he just gets the spotlight taken so hard from him by Robin. So hard in, like, the ending portion of the game. And on top of that, I mean, he's nothing exactly groundbreaking. He's not some brand new idea. He's pretty much just a new blue-haired Fire Emblem Lord who, in my opinion, has more personality than a lot of the other ones. But shh, we won't talk about that in this video. Yeah, though, Chrom, love him. Love Chrom. Awesome guy. A tier for sure. We've got Cordelia now, and I think the best way I can describe my feelings on Cordelia is fantastic character design, awful fucking writing. Like, she is not a good character in my opinion. I don't care what anyone fucking says. You can tell me, but Gast made a 40-minute video on how Cordelia is actually a misunderstood great character. No, she's not. She's not. I'm gonna be completely real with you. In my opinion. I think that a lot of the points made in that video are reaching, and I think she's completely a Mary Sue. I get that she has this negative quality in her mind. You know, I get that she has the sense of perfectionism and survivor's guilt and all that. But I don't think she's a super interesting character. She really faces no adversity aside from the guys who are just labeled the bad guys. She kind of just gets her way. I guess I'm having conflicted thoughts on Cordelia right now, slightly. I think the only interesting aspect of her character is the fact that she's incredibly perfect but doesn't get Crom, who is like the guy that she wants. So I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if any of her child supports delve into the whole Crom thing, but I feel like my biggest problem with it is just the fact that the game doesn't make a big deal out of it. Like, they don't really... This should be a really major thing for her, and they don't make it a major thing in any sense whatsoever. So that's even squandered. So I gotta put Cordelia in D tier. I'm sorry. Not a fan at all. I think with Cordelia, she had so much potential. Like, I literally wiped her in my first run of Awakening. That's how much I liked her. But fuck, her character is not well written, and it bothers the shit out of me. She's just not interesting, in my opinion, for the most part. Like, no hate if you like Cordelia, but she is not great, in my opinion. Not a fan. Next we got Cynthia. Cynthia I like a lot. Really fun character. Really, like, I don't even know what else to say about Cynthia other than I think she's really fun. She has a lot of really solid moments, and like, I think her support with Jerome, that is a good fucking support, in my opinion. It's just so wholesome. I'm a big fan of that one, and I like Cynthia. I think she's fun. Like, she's no like masterwork of writing or anything, but she's fun. She's similar to Crom in the sense that she's not really doing anything particularly new for the most part. She's just doing it well, and you know, I'm cool with that. She's very unique, and same for Crom. They're both very unique characters, despite the fact that they do tend to be tropey from time to time. Donal, I don't like Donal. I don't like Donal. I don't like him as a unit. Like, I've never really been into the whole like villager type character, and Donal is no fucking different for me. I'm not interested in this farm boy. I'm not. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Be gone. D tier for you, bro. I'm sorry. Emmeryn. So, I think her role in the actual plot of Awakening, I put about a B, maybe a low A. Like, she serves her point well. Emmeryn serves her purpose well, and I think that she's interesting enough. However, I think Spot Pass puts her way down into fucking D tier. The idea of her surviving that fall and just like reverting mentally is really weird to me. I'm not a fan of it. Like, the whole, like, you know, she can hardly speak. Like, I do admit her support with Gangrel is really cute. Like, it's nice. I fuck with it. I like the fact... I think Gangrel is probably the only character that actually takes good advantage of Spot Pass in terms of writing. And even then, I'm not a fan of him surviving after his supposed demise. So there's that. But anyways, Emerin. With her, I'm just not a fan of what they did with her in Spot Pass. I think that bringing her back was really fucking lazy and pandery. I think that she should have just stayed dead. And because of that, I give her D tier. But I do enjoy her in terms of her role in Awakening. Like, I think her character pre-fall, she's solid. She's fine. Flavia, I like Flavia. I'll put her in B tier. I like her, but I'm not really like, I don't really give a shit. I'm not super like interested in Flavia. I think she's a badass female character in Fire Emblem, and I like her design a lot, but I don't know. I've never been like particularly interested in Flavia. Can't say I have. Frederick, A tier easily. Easy A tier. I'd put him above Cynthia, I think. I do want to order these like in the tiers at some point, but I'll do that later. But anyways, Frederick, I think that he is a really good character. I think as a Jagan character, he is absolutely great. I like the fact that he's the only person who's skeptical of Robin because, you know, like or dislike Robin, you can't deny the fact that Robin, not as, you know, necessarily directly stated to you, is a Mary Sue. In terms of like relation to Cordelia, like whether you like or dislike Robin, you have to admit that Robin is a Mary Sue. Not told to you and presented in the same way as Cordelia, but Robin is a Mary Sue. Like, that's just how it is. Too perfect. Doesn't have anything really go wrong. You know, everything ends up revolving around them. Not a fan of Robin. But I'm not talking about Robin, I'm talking about Frederick. Frederick is the one person who actually questions Robin, like the one person who's doubtful of Robin. And for that alone, I respect him. But also, his supports with Crom are really funny. His supports with Lissa are absolutely great. Like, he is just such a good, well-written Jagan. Like, this, I think Frederick is the embodiment of what a good Jagan should be in terms of character writing. Him and Seth both. Seth from Sacred Stones. I think both of them, great written Jagan. Love them to death. But yeah, I think Frederick, I'll put him here. I do prefer Crom over him, honestly. Like, I like Crom more than I like Frederick. But I think Frederick is a very well-written character. He has some great supports, and great guy. Gaius, S-tier fucking character. You cannot tell me otherwise. Oh, he is so much more than just haha funny Candyman. Like, he has nicknames for so many different characters. He has detailed history. He has backstory to him and why he's a thief. And, you know, he has really heartwarming supports with a lot of characters because he's really a good guy, despite the fact that he's a pretty petty thief overall. But, you know, he's a really good guy. And, you know, I love Gaius. I love this man, and I'm so sad that Fire Emblem Heroes has treated him the way that they have, because he deserves much better. Like, I hope he gets a Resplendent at some point, because I'm not a fan of his art in any of his variations. He deserves it. And I'd rather that not come in the form of Asugi. I'd really rather not. But yeah, Gaius, great character, fantastic character. I always use him in every single Awakening run. I love him. Gangrel. Okay, Gangrel, like I said earlier, one character that is actually benefited, in my opinion, by Spot Pass. Like, I'm not a fan of his revival, quote unquote, or his survival, I should say, not revival. but revival in terms of the plot. I'm not a fan of that. But other than that, like, he gets so many good moments with you know, Robin and Emerin, and I don't remember who else he supports. That might actually be it. I say so many good moments and then that shit. But point is though, he actually gets character development through his supports, which I think is really interesting. And I do feel like it does suffer a little bit from the Awakening support system, just in the fact that, you know, you get through A and it's like, man, totally like developed in this fashion, and then it's just gone in the rest. But I think that his role in the actual plot of Awakening is really good. I think he's a great villain. My strong opinion about Awakening is that the Grima arc shouldn't have existed, and that we should have just had Gangrel taking up half of the game and Walhart taking up half the game. Like, maybe you could interweave Grima in there somewhere, but firm opinion on that. Now, I've done all this rambling, putting Gangrel in A. I actually think I like him more than Frederick for sure. I don't like him as much as Crom. Like, Crom is just such a likable guy. I love that man. But fantastic villain. Like, easily, in my opinion, one of the more entertaining Fire Emblem villains, at least for the short time that he is around. Like, for other villains that have the same amount of presence that he does, I think he entertains fantastically. Great guy. Well, not a great guy, but great character, great villain. A tier. We got my boy Jerome. This is a character I actually have an interesting story with, because I used to not like Jerome much at all. Because I didn't understand his character fully. Like, it took reading through his supports for me to understand his character more and to really come to actually appreciate it. I think Jerome, easy A tier. This is hard. I don't know if I like him as much as Gangrel and Crom, but he's up there. Like, I actually really do like Jerome, and if you haven't given him a chance, I do recommend doing so, because he's really good, and he also blows Inigo the fuck out. Like, he absolutely fucking obliterates Inigo just by existing, and that alone is worth millions. Gregor. Oh, Gregor, best swell sword. He's gotta go way up here. Man, Gregor is one of my favorite characters in this fucking game. I try to use him whenever I can. He is just so welcoming of a guy, but he also has this darkness to him, and he is just such a fantastically written character where he has so many fun moments, but at the same time, you know, you're reminded that he's a mercenary, you know, he's seen people die, and he's an older guy too, so it's like, you know, I don't remember which support it is, but I know he has a support where he's like kind of just drinking and talking about like how his brother died, and oh, Gregor is just so well written. Fantastic fucking character. Easy S tier. Easiest S tier of my fucking life. Great character. We've got Henry, oh man, Henry. This man is a beast. I think he and Gaius actually have a really good support together, if I remember correctly. I might be remembering wrong, because it's been far too long since I've played Awakening. But Henry is super entertaining. Love his character. Like, there's nothing more to say about him. He is just so unique in terms of how his character and dialogue are written compared to other characters in the Fire Emblem franchise, at least. And, you know, I think that's very commendable because they pull it off very well. He's great. S tier, easy. Inigo, I have the opposite effect with. from Jerome. I'm almost tempted, you know, I'm gonna put him in C tier. I will put him, no, I'm not gonna put him above Brady, but I will put him in C tier because I get some ironic enjoyment out of him. But Inigo is a character that I used to like a lot because I only had read a few of his supports. I thought that his support with Olivia was really good. And yeah, I used to think he was a really good character. And then I read the rest of his supports later on and realized that he's a fucking beta cuck. Like, I'm not even one to, like, phrase things like that, beta cuck, but that's what he is. Like, he literally has a line where he was like, why do all the girls go for the jerks instead of the nice guys? Like, some shit like that. He is ridiculous. Fucking Inigo, man. Like, I can't. He's such a shitter. I'm only giving him C tier because I get some ironic enjoyment out of him. I don't get ironic enjoyment out of these characters at the bottom. But him, yeah, I can get some good laughs out of him at least. Kellum, D tier, D tier, D tier. He is so boring. He is like, I get that's the point of him. Haha, it's so funny. He's so forgettable. But I think the meme is fucking overplayed and tired and awful. And I think Kellum is insanely boring. And I don't give a single fuck about him whatsoever. D tier, easiest D tier of my fucking life. Gel, I don't really care about, but I mean, she's better than the rest of them. I can at least say that. Like, she's kind of similar to Kellum in that she's very boring in my opinion, but she's not nearly as boring as Kellum. Though, I mean, I guess Kellum is intentionally boring in some aspects. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Shell. Not a fan at all. Never have been. Probably never will be. Maybe if I give her supports like a real deep dive, because I have never done that. I've just never been interested in her character, in what I've seen of her, what little I have at least. I've had no interest in her whatsoever. Laurent is the homie. This is the fucking homie. I think Muriel is a stuck-up bitch. I fucking hate Muriel. She sucks. She's going to actually... You know, I'm just gonna rank Muriel now. Spoiler alert. I mean, not spoilers, because it's happening right now. Muriel, bottom of the tier list. Fucking awful. I'm gonna rank both of them at once. So, unlike his mom, Laurent takes the intelligence, but actually has interesting social interactions with people. You know, he actually has characteristics to him aside from my research. And Muriel is also just a fucking dick to everybody for like zero fucking reason. Like, pretty much, literally, if you even breathe in her direction, she's gonna be like, why are you getting in the way of my research? Huh? I hate this bitch. Fuck this bitch. She's D tier. Laurent, on the other hand, he's awesome. I think he is complete opposite of his mother while still retaining qualities from her. And it's kind of astounding how they just took this awful character and made it into something good. I'm happy with it. Libra. I think Libra is gonna go way up here. Right past, actually not past Gangrel, but right past Jerome, Frederick, Cynthia, Laurent. Libra has some fantastic supports. He is so fucking based. Like, obviously, you know, there's the trap factor to him, as you would say. In that, you know, he's easily mistaken for a girl. And a lot of people think that that is all of Libra's character, and it's not. I used to think that it was all of his character, and then I read through his supports, and I realized that he has, like, 2 supports like that. And one of them is Virion, which it's like, Did you really expect Libra to have a series support with fucking Virion? No. So, yeah, I think Libra's great. He's actually really interesting and well written, and giving him an A. Lissa, I like Lissa, but don't know if I like her as much as anyone in A tier, to be completely honest. Like, I think she's probably like somewhere in the top of B tier. There's one character I can think of who will come up later who will probably surpass her as top of B tier, but I like Lissa a good bit. She's just not A tier quality, but like, I think she has really good supports. She's funny. I think she's really endearing. And yeah, Lissa's solid B. Nothing more to it. Solid B. Long Ku, I think, is really generic. I'm not a fan of him. Nah, I think he's just very stereotypical edgelord, but then he has his weird thing of being afraid of women. And yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like more to it. Like, I'm pretty sure there's like a specific reason, or a strong, like, good specific reason why he's afraid of women. At least from what I remember hearing, but I don't remember it, and I could be completely wrong. But regardless, you know, I don't care for Long Ku. Like, he gives me kind of incel vibes, like Inigo. You know, actually, I might put him below Inigo, because at least Inigo gives me the ironic enjoyment. Long Ku doesn't give me any enjoyment. So, yeah, but I don't think he's as bad as the rest of these characters down here. Like, I don't think he matches them at all. So, I think bottom of C is pretty fitting. Lucina, so this is the character I was thinking of when I said that Lissa might be dethroned in B, but I thought about it more, and I'm thinking she might be bottom of A. I'm putting a lot of characters in A, but I do actually really like the Awakening cast as a whole. Maybe like toward the end, if things are still really skewed, then I'll move things down a bit. But I like Lucina. I like her a lot. I like her role in the story. I think she has some solid supports. I don't think she has very interesting aspects to her character. I think she could have if they had written her better, but I think they kind of squandered some of that. Just a little bit. I think they squandered it. And because of that, I'm gonna put her at the bottom of A tier. Really bordering on top of B. But yeah, nothing more to say on it. Like, I gotta make a decision. I'm super conflicted on this. Maribel. I like Maribel. Hear me out on this, because I know a lot of people do not like Maribel. I think that on the surface, like, when she's introduced in the story, she's pretty much just a fucking bitch. I'll be honest. It's not until you actually get into her supports that I think she becomes great. I think that she has very strong character writing. You know, she has a very clear belief system, and the writers are able to make the individual aspects of it very clear to you through her supports, because, you know, her whole thing is she wants to become a figure of justice in terms of, like, you know, their world's version of a judge. Something like that. But yeah, I think she's very good, and I actually like her more than Gangrel. And I dare say I like her more than Crom and Henry. I'm gonna be honest. I was originally thinking A tier for her, but, you know, the more I think about it, I think Maribel is a very underrated character because of her awful introduction in Awakening. I think once you actually look at her character past her introduction, she's very entertaining, very well written. And yeah, nothing else to say there. Female Morgan, I like a good bit. I'm gonna put her right above Jerome, I think. Her and Jerome actually have a really good support together. I keep having these characters that are super close to each other that also have really good supports together, which, you know, might be a little bit more than coincidence. But yeah, I think she's really strongly written. I think that I want to give my opinion on the child characters in Awakening for a second, because I know child characters are controversial with some people in terms of Awakening and Fates. I'm far less of a fan of them in Fates. I like them for gameplay in Fates, but I don't like them for writing purposes at all. I think some of the Fates kids are written well. A lot of them are not written so well. And yeah, I really like them in terms of gameplay because I like to play a lot of Iron Mans, and in Iron Mans, the child characters are really fucking fun. They're really fun to use, and they're not insanely broken, in my opinion, in Conquest, at least. But that's Fates. Awakening, I actually like it in terms of the writing as well, even if I don't really like the whole Grima arc. Because I like the dynamic it brings with these characters interacting with their children from the future, a future where they themselves are dead. I think that's really fucking interesting, and I like child characters a lot in general in Awakening. Not so much of a fan of them in Fates, but Awakening I think does them very well. That being said, I think Morgan is very well written. I think she's very endearing, and I like her a good bit. And then Male Morgan, you might think that I would put them together, but they're actually completely different characters. I wasn't always on board with that idea, like I thought people were just bluffing, but no, they actually do have completely different supports, all across the board. Like, I think even their supports with their parents are different, but I might be wrong there. But I think they do actually have changes to them. Like, they are very different characters. And I would probably put him below Laurent, I think is a fair spot for him based on how I view him. I like him a good bit. I don't like him as much as Female Morgan. I think Female Morgan is honestly just a more endearing character and more interesting character, but that's just me. Nah. Not a fan. Not actually leaving her here at the bottom, but she's going in D tier. I'd probably put her below Kjell. I think that's fair. I don't think she's very interesting at all. She's very boring. She's very, very boring. Which, like, considering who her mother is kind of shocking to me. Just because I think that Noe, who we're actually going to get to soon, and I think I'm just going to do her now. I think Noe is a really well-written character, actually. Like, she's not just... You know, I think that her design, like... I think her character, or her outfit design, specifically, is fucking awful. I think she needs to put clothes on. But in terms of writing, like, she's not just like, haha, I'm 300-year-old Dragon Lully kiddo. Like, I don't remember which support it is, but there's one support in particular I think pretty much confirms that it's all a front for her, and that really she's kind of like fucking depressed because she knows that like everyone around her is gonna end up dying before her. And on top of that, you know, being one of the last Manicheets, if not the last Manicheet, I think she's just one of the last in Awakening. I don't remember exactly what the lore on that was. But yeah, I think she's just I think she's a very interesting character. Unlike her daughter Na, I think Na fucking sucks. I think she's very boring. And I don't even I don't like her design. I don't like her character. I think she's kind of a wasted slot and wasted potential all across the board. So that's what I think about them. Naui, I actually will put a lot higher. Right next to Gregor, right next to Anna. Because Naui, I do like quite a bit as a character. No pedo shit. But Naui as a character is just very endearing. You know, my channel, Core Vampy, is named after Vanya from Grand Blue Fantasy, who's like this vampire girl. And my big thing is I just love these characters that are ultimately put in these daughter-like roles. Like, I like seeing the father-daughter bonds a lot in writing, and I like these daughter characters because they're endearing and I want them to be protected. So yeah, Naui S tier, I S tier, high S tier. Noir, I don't actually know enough about her supports to make much of an informed decision. Honestly, I think I'm gonna put her down. I'm just gonna leave her down here. I was thinking about doing the same with Aversa too, but I mean, I think her spot's pretty fair considering, you know, obviously I at least know her character through the plot of Awakening. But Noir I actually don't have enough exposure to really make an informed opinion on. However, I will say my impression of her is not a good one. Like, I would probably put her in C or D if I were to rank her currently, but I don't know enough about her to properly rank her, and I'm not going to. Honestly, considering doing the same with... I think I'm going to do the same with Kajal too, because I think that I don't know enough about her writing and supports to be fair to her. So, I'll just do that. Olivia, I S tier. This girl is... high school me related to her so much. High school me related to Olivia a whole lot. Being a performer throughout high school, but also being very introverted. And, you know, over time I've come out of my shell a little bit more progressively, and it's been getting better. But, you know, even still from time to time, you know, I feel what Olivia is going through. Like, I feel it making this video. Like, I feel self-conscious of what I'm saying, of, like, who could hear me or who's gonna watch. I resonate with Olivia a lot. Like, she was my original FE girl. Like, she was my original Fire Emblem girl. Just because I could relate so much, and I think she's really endearing, and she has some great supports. Like, I like her supports a lot. I really like the kind of... Sorry for the phone vibration. I like the support that she has with Gaius, where, you know, he gives her sweets and they just, like, kind of chat and vibe. And then when he proposes to her, he puts her ring in a pie or some shit like that. I really liked that support, but I digress. Olivia, easily up there. I don't know if I like her as much as Naui, however you would say your name. And I definitely don't like her as much as Anna, because Anna's the girl. Anna's the home girl. But love Olivia to death. Fucking fantastic character. Easily, honestly, probably my favorite dancer in the whole franchise. Honestly. Owain. I don't like Owain. I liked him at one point, and then I got tired of his gimmick, and then his gimmick kept going. I am not a fan of Owain at all. I think he's really unfunny, and I don't know, like, I get that he's supposed to be like a gag character for the most part, in terms of just like, you know, his whole "my aching blood," or that might be something he only says as Odin. I don't remember. But yeah, not a fan. I'd put him just above Emerin, I think. Actually, yeah, I'd put her just above Emerin. Let me actually move things around a little bit. I'm gonna move Cordelia below Donal. Just cause like Donal's, you know, I'm gonna move Donal above Na too, because Donal's not like super egregious like I think the rest of them are. I'm just not a fan of him. Owain, like, ever since I found the full extent of his character and, like, read into him more, like, I really just gave zero fucks. He's just annoying. And he bitches a lot. He actually does bitch a lot from what I remember. Yeah, I don't like him. I don't like his whole, like, theatrics thing. So yeah, Owain, easy D tier for me. Not a fan of him. Pan, I'm gonna give her C. And I'm gonna put her above Brady because I don't think she's a great character, but I like her because Booba. That's the best I can say for her. I've actually read a good amount of her sports. I wanted to like her a lot, didn't really like her much. I think she's kind of just too much for a retread of Manicheats, and we have Manicheats in the game, so what's the point? Also, I just realized something. I'm fucking stupid for the whole, now we might be the last Manicheat thing earlier, because there's fucking Tiki right here. So I'm actually just fucking stupid. My bad. Priam, I'm putting in D tier for sure. He's higher up in D tier. Like, I'm gonna put him above Na. Like, I don't like the whole... I'm not a fan of the whole, like, riding on Ike's coattails type of thing. With, like, dude, it's like his great descendant. Like, I don't give a shit. He's not an interesting character. All he does is train all day. That's literally his whole character. He does not have actual character writing like Ike did, and he doesn't deserve the design. He doesn't deserve the Ragnell that he has. He doesn't deserve any of it. Like, he's a shitter. Fuck Priam, honestly. You know, I'm gonna put him below Na. I'm gonna put him below Na. Actually, I really don't like Priam. Rickon I don't like either, but you know, he's just like he's just a bit annoying. Put him below Donal. Like, he's not like some like egregious black hole of writing like Muriel, but you know, he's no. The Robins, I don't remember if they have dialogue differences or not. I mean, obviously they have supports that the other can't access because of the different sexes, but Robin, I've got to give probably like a low D tier. But I do, well, I'm gonna put Robin probably above Rickon. Put both of them there. My thing with Robin is, once they take the spotlight, the plot just kind of goes to shit, and they're not interesting. Like, they're your avatar character, but they have a predefined personality, but that personality is also so fucking one-dimensional that, okay, who cares? I don't like Robin much, but, you know, I at least like Robin more than the rest of these fuckers. I do think that as much as Awakening has a lot of really good characters, it also has a lot of fucking stinkers. Sayri, I actually like Sayri. I'm putting her, like, probably below Frederick and above Cynthia. I'm also gonna switch Lauren and Cynthia. That's just something I'm feeling in my gut. But Sayri I like. Sayri's written pretty well. Barren Womb meme, because she can't have kids with anyone but Robin. And I think she's, like, one of, like, 4 or 5 characters like that. Yeah. I like Sayri. I think in terms of the plot, Seiri's motivation is very strong. I like that she actually plays somewhat of a role in the earlier parts of the Valm stuff, like when you're still dealing with Yenfei and all that. Uh, yeah, I think she's great. And my music fucking stopped. God damn it. Severa, easy, easy, easy S tier. Probably put her above Gaius, like around here. I like Chershi more. Actually, I'm gonna move Chersh above. I know I go back and forth in my pronunciations of some of these names. It's just because I don't. Some of these names I just don't know how to fucking pronounce. But yeah, switching her and Basilio, just because I really like Chersh. But this is not about her. This is about Severa. Severa is one of the best tsundere characters in anything. You cannot change my mind. She's great. She can have any hair color you want, barring the limits of the game. She has some actual really good character moments outside of just being a tsundere, which is absolutely fantastic, of course. Everything about Severa is just chef's kiss right there. Absolutely a top character in Awakening. Stahl, on the other hand, I'm putting in D. Stahl is not so good of a character. I think he's even worse than Donald, because at least Donald has more personality to him. Stahl just does things. He exists. That's the best way I can describe Stahl, is that he's just a guy. Which, you know, some people might find appeal in that. Me, I don't care for him. Not much more to say on him. He's kind of just a loser in my books. Sully, putting her in D somewhere, but I don't know where in D. I think... I don't think I like her as much as Robin. I mean, I don't really like Robin much, but I like her less than Robin, I should say. But I don't like her, or I don't dislike her as much as Rickon. Like, Rickon's more annoying. Sully is just kind of like, whatever. I don't like her much. I'm not a fan of her design, especially, obviously, you know, the Awakening toilet armor that some of these knights have. Like, you know, her and Stahl. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not very much a fan. And I highly doubt that's ever going to change, especially with how shitty she is in Fire Emblem Heroes. Sumiya, I've come around towards more after reading her stuff, but I'd probably only put her in B. Like, I'd put her probably below... I'd put her above Flavia and Lissa. No, not above Lissa. I'd put her... No. I was gonna say, because Lissa's way too close to the A tier for that. No. I'd put her above Flavia, though. I like Sumiya. She's okay. I don't think she's anything special, though. Chrom x Sumiya. Basic bitch pairing. Not much more to it. Tharja's a character that... Man, I love her design. I'm really not into her character. I don't think her character is as deep as some people think. I think they're just distracted by Booba. Like, I'll put her in top of C. I'm not a fan of her, but I will admit, like, she has some good supports. And, like, her design is really good. It's really good. So, that's what I'm thinking for that. Adult Tiki, I've come to like less and less because of Fire Emblem Heroes and the Tiki alt spam. Now, mind you, Adult Tiki only has 2 versions in the game. Her normal version and the summer version that came out in year 1. But even still, it's the same character. But I don't hate her as much as I hate Young Tiki, for sure. Like, I still love Tiki's adult design. I think it's a really good design. And, you know, I think she has good supports in Awakening too, honestly. You know, I'm gonna put her in B. I'll give her in B. I'm gonna put her above Sumiya. I think I'm actually gonna put her above Lissa, because I think she is close to an A for me, but Fire Emblem Heroes fucking up Tiki for me has really just soured me on her. Make. Fucking teach. Fucking teach. I like this man even more than Gregor. He's not even deeper than Gregor. Gregor's a way better character. But Vake is just so likable. He is so likable. I love this man. I use him in every single Awakening run I can. I totally butchered my pronunciation of Awakening. But I use him in every run that I can. He is awesome. A true fucking bro. And hats off to my boy. Virion. I actually like him a good bit. But it's a similar thing with Tiki, where Heroes has definitely soured me on him, and I've definitely been soured on Virion more than I have been with Tiki, I'll be completely honest. And because of that, I'm gonna put him above Sumia and leave it at that. I think he is actually a well-written character that a lot of people write off far too quickly because of his introduction. I think that's the biggest thing with Awakening, honestly, is that a lot of the character introductions are just really not good at showcasing the character. But I digress. I'm just gonna leave him a B. I think he's actually a good character, but Heroes, man, I don't even like looking at his face anymore, and that makes me pretty sad. Walhart. If not for Spot Pass, Walhart would be somewhere up here. Probably right here or right here. Maybe he would go... I don't think he'd go past Gregor, honestly, but he'd probably be somewhere around here or here. But another thing where it's just like, it's really fucking stupid that he survived, and unlike Gangrel, he doesn't get anything early out of it. His supports aren't super interesting. Like, he is a complete character in the Valm arc. He did not need to come back as a supportable character, even with just Robin. Like, and the few other characters he may have, if he has anyone else. I think I'm gonna put Walhart down in B. Well, maybe, I'll put him in A. Like, it's really tough because I love him in the story, but man, his Spot Pass shit is not good. And it's kind of soured me on him a bit, you know? Fuck it. Put him above Jerome. I think that's a fine enough spot for him. I think he'd be S tier if not for Spot Pass. I think Spot Pass brings him down to A. It's a similar thing with Gangrel, but I think Gangrel actually gains enough out of his Spot Pass to be worth a higher position in the tier list. Yarn, man, Yarn is like the one character that I hate almost as much as Muriel. Like, I hate him more than Kellum. I hate him more than Spot Pass Emerin, more than Owain, more than Priam. Oh, he's such a bitch. He's just such a bitch, and he has no redeeming qualities to him whatsoever. That he is not likable. He's not a likable character. D tier, D tier, D tier. Be gone. Yanfei, man, Yanfei is another character that I think is really fucking low. You know, I think his reasons for sticking with Walhart through to the end are fucking stupid. It's like they tried to do a Camus / Camus, however you pronounce it, thing, where it's like, you know, this character who, you know, oh, they should end up joining you, but they have so much loyalty for their country. But like, Yanfei literally doesn't even like Walhart, and he doesn't care necessarily that much about Valm as a whole. And he knows that no matter what the outcome of the war is, you know, Volm's gonna be fine one way or another, because Walhart and Crom wanted pretty much the same thing. They just went about it way different ways. um, there was no reason for him to die on the map that he did, and bringing him back in Spot Pass was so fucking lazy. Honestly, I think he's even worse than Priam. The more I talk about Yenfei, the more I actually think about how much I dislike him. I dislike him more than Owain. I dislike him more than Cordelia, for sure. Cordelia she doesn't have booba, but she has the feminine appeal. I can meme about Emeren. I can't meme about Yenfei as much. Yeah, I think right below Emeren, but I said Emeren's so weird there. I think right below Emeren and above Kellum is a good spot for Yenfei. I don't like the guy one bit. I think he's a really shitty character. I think Sayuri is infinitely better than he is. And yeah, that's Yenfei. Well, it took about a good hour and a half, but I got through this. You guys will probably not see the full hour and a half. I'm gonna try to cut this down at least, you know, half, hopefully. Have a lot of really just bullshit moments where I'm just sitting there drinking water and coughing, so edit all those down. Hopefully this doesn't come out to too long of a video, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching this dumb fucking stoner and giving me your attention for however long this video ends up being. And yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Later.